Three of my top exercises to help build bigger biceps. Today we're going to break down my big three bicep building exercises that I use personally and with clients to help bicep growth. We're going to cover the principles of sets, reps, and frequency so you can maximize your workouts to get as much growth with your biceps. But we're also going to cover exercise execution so you know the standard of execution that I like to teach anyways with my client and do myself so you can get as much growth possible. So let's get after it. All right guys, when it comes to muscle growth, regardless if it's the bicep or any other muscle on the body, I want you to remember a few key details. You're going to need to pay attention to volume, the amount of work you're doing in a week. You can equate that or dissect it down with sets, reps, and even tempo, but it's going to be an important metric to track. How many sets are you focusing in the week? If we're looking at the biceps, how many sets of your workout are focusing directly on growing the bicep for that week? What are the rep ranges? You need to be tracking your total volume so you can make adjustments at the right time, but also have enough stimulus there to elicit growth. The next thing you're going to have to pay attention to is intensity. A lot of you out there are going to the gym. Maybe you don't have a plan. You're just going and lifting random exercises, not tracking your weights, not tracking your reps, not seeing any reason or tracking any reason for your muscle to grow. What I mean by that is you need to have progressive overload. You need to be tracking your numbers, being sets, reps, every time you go to your workout to make sure you are actually progressing. If you are not giving your bicep enough reason to grow, it will stay the same or can even regress. So you want to be tracking your performance. What I recommend is to have some form of a log. You can do that through apps. Like with our clients, we provide access to our Mind Performance Health app. They can track their reps and weight in that app with their methods that they are going through for that time to make sure we actually get progressive overload and progress over time. But you can even do it as simple as, even what I do sometimes, having my notes in my phone. I will have my iPhone out, I'll have my notes out, and I will track each exercise each week and just make sure I am progressing with that specific exercise for the next 4 to 6 weeks before I review for my next program. But ultimately, it's very simple, guys. You need to be tracking your intensity, how much you're lifting in the gym. You need to be tracking your volume, the amount of work you're doing in the gym to actually get enough stimulus to have that muscle growth. The other thing I want to touch on before we get into the exercises today to help grow the biceps is going to be frequency. I personally like, if I have a body part that I'm trying to improve, maybe it's lagging or I just want to prioritize it more than others, I like to have more frequency as long as I can recover and adapt. So what I mean by that, training your arms or bicep more often in the week potentially can lead to more growth as long as it's the right stimulus with the intensity and volume and as long as you're recovering. So possibly training your biceps 2, 3, even 4 times a week, you may actually find more growth with your biceps rather than just training them once a week. Yes, genetics are going to play a role as well, but I've always found the best growth personally with myself, with my physique competitors, with general population. Adding more frequency, as long as you can recover, can elicit more growth. But you need to pay attention to all these details if you want to fast track your results. Another thing I want to touch on is going to be prioritizing the muscles that you want to grow with your workout. With your biceps, if you have a goal to grow your biceps, what I will sometimes do with clients is actually start their workout training their biceps. I won't wait till last when the most amount of fatigue is high, okay? So I might start the workout focusing on that particular muscle that I want to grow. So in this case, I'll have some clients where growing the biceps are a priority, start their day in their workout, in their gym, focusing on bicep exercises, not jumping into squats, not doing deadlifts, not doing a bench press. They'll literally start curling, doing chin-ups, things that will actually stimulate bicep growth. Why? Because that's when we have the least amount of fatigue, possibly if you've warmed up right, the most amount of performance to get the most amount of intensity, volume, tension into the muscle so you can have as much growth potentially afterwards, okay? And it gets the most amount of stimulus. So frequency, priority, volume, and intensity are all key metrics that you need to be paying attention to if you want to grow your arms as well as any other muscle on your body. So with that said, guys, let's get into some of my big 3 exercises that I like to use personally to help me grow my arms. For the first exercise we're going to run through is the easy bar standing supinated curl. Just to take a side step here, rep ranges I like to use particularly with this exercise is anywhere from 8 to 20 reps. All right, so 8 to 20 reps per set. Usually I would stick on average to 8 to 15 reps. Sometimes if I'm using an undulating program where towards the end of the week I increase my rep range, I may go on the higher side, up to 20 reps. But like I said, most of the time I like to stick to 8 to 15 with this exercise, okay? So you've got a widespread rep range that you can use. You've got to find what effectively works for yourself, whether you are more fast twitch dominant, whether you're more slow twitch dominant, but usually that's the rep range that I like to stick with personally with this exercise. Now with the easy bar curl, very simply, you'll have your easy bar. All right, I like to go mid grip instead of coming in close. There's different ways you can do it. Very important that you set this up correctly. What I mean by that is when you're executing the exercise, for some of you out there, you'll have your elbows tucked back and use momentum of your hips. We don't want that. All right, you're not going to get the best degree of tension onto that bicep. And remember, when you're lifting, our goal is to increase muscle growth. We want to keep that tension on the bicep the whole time. All right, so we're going to be in a supinated grip. This is going to be great for targeting the short head of the bicep. You're going to grab the easy bar mid grip, and then the first thing you're going to do is put your feet hip width, brace, elbows forward. You can even slightly tuck them into your hip, okay? From this position, keep your head up, and remember, we want to get rid of any momentum. You're then going to squeeze your triceps in the bottom, so your biceps are stretched. You're going to come up and shorten the bicep, all right? Keeping your elbows nice and forward. From this position, you're going to come down in 3 seconds, controlled. Squeeze your tricep in the bottom before then coming back up. Controlled, 3 seconds down, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your triceps in the bottom to get a full lengthen, and then come back up. 3 seconds down. Okay? Now, once again, the goal here is to get rid of a lot of momentum. All right? And we want to use the execution of the exercise, controlled, to keep the tension on that arm or the bicep. This is a great exercise. Usually I will start my workout with the easy bar curl if I'm focusing on the arms before I go to more isolated exercises for the biceps. Rep range, once again, 8 to 20. Stick to the averages of 8 to 15. Give that a shot first to get a little bit more intensity up. But if you're undulating, you can go up to 20 reps throughout the week. I usually start 3 to 4 sets on this exercise before moving on to the next exercise. Now with the easy bar curl we just did standing, it challenges the muscles mostly, right, in the mid-range. But we want a full spectrum throughout that range of challenging, okay? What I mean by that is we're going to now do another exercise which I love, which is going to be the dumbbell 45-degree neutral curl, but we're going to challenge it in the lengthened position. Challenge the muscles more so in the lengthened position. I like challenging the muscles in different spectrums, short, mid-range, and lengthened. That's what I found with clients and myself to get the best muscle growth, okay? So from here, you'll have the bench set up 45 degrees, feet back, you'll see my feet are back. You're going to let the dumbbells rest and head back. Squeeze your triceps in the bottom. Now here, I'll show you what not to do. We don't want any momentum. Don't use the shoulders to roll forward to get the weights up. Don't lean forward. Your posture or your position of your body is like this. Squeeze the biceps and squeeze the triceps in the bottom to fully lengthen, and then start slowly in the bottom. Coming up, the forearm's going to drive up. Come up and squeeze close to the shoulder, but don't let it roll up where you lose all the tension on the bicep. From this position, 3 seconds down. Keep your arms neutral and hands neutral. Squeeze the triceps in the bottom. Come back up. Squeeze. 3 seconds down. Very important to count tempo on the eccentric or lengthening. Tricep squeeze at the bottom. Don't use momentum too quick. Forearms come up slow. Drive up, squeeze the bicep. 3 seconds down. Okay? Great for building the long head of the bicep. This is a great exercise that I like to add in as well. Mixing up different grips. Supinated, we start with the easy bar. We've gone neutral. Once again, a great exercise to help build. Rep ranges with this one, usually in most cases, I like to stick to 10 to 15 reps. But once again, you've got 8 to 20 reps kind of spread. If you want to see some hypertrophy, you can play within that range. All right, now we're going to look at the third exercise for this video, which is going to be the low pulley straight bar. We're going to do the curl though in a pronated grip. So if you remember with the easy bar, we went supinated, then we went neutral, now we're going pronated. Why? Why are we mixing up the grips? It's not so much the grip that's special, but it's the part of the bicep it targets with each grip you go through. Now, if you have a goal to really build out your biceps, you want to be targeting each of those muscles that actually make up the bicep, okay? So mixing around the grips during your workout is a great way that you stimulate and get all round stimulus through the whole muscle itself so you can get as best growth as possible as well. All right, so I like to mix around the grips with my bicep workout as well as some other muscle groups as well, chest, back, etc. Just so I can make sure I tick off as many boxes as I can to get as much growth as I can. So in this exercise, this usually I will do towards the end of a workout in most cases. Rep range for this, I like to keep a little bit higher, usually 12 to 20 reps, 3 sets, all right? Very simply, you'll have the straight bar. You're going to pull that in the low pulley position. We're going to do it with a pronated grip. You can also do it supinated, all right, but we're going to do it in a pronated grip. From here, you'll take a couple of steps back. Very important, once again, that we have a good base, okay? Feet underneath hips, abs nice and tight, shoulders slightly depressed down. Triceps squeezed, okay? Squeeze your triceps once again to fully lengthen the bicep. From this position, you'll keep tight. Forearms are going to come up. All right, you're going to keep your elbows laser focused on the ground, come up and squeeze or curl before coming back down. Now, at the bottom, squeeze your tricep. What I don't want you to do is come on up and then pretty much leverage it up onto your shoulders. You'll lose tension in the arms, okay? So squeeze triceps in the bottom, forearm comes up, curl, really squeeze the bicep, 3 seconds on the way down, all right? Extension at the elbow, come back up again. Okay, for this exercise, we want to be hitting, once again, 12 up to 20 reps. Use it as a good finisher, isolation movement. That's when I personally like to use it with myself and clients. But if you combine all these exercises, guys, with your workouts, with the right frequency, intensity, and volume, you'll get some great growth in your biceps. So hopefully today you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel for more content. If you have any questions, please leave them down below or any feedback. And then you can check out our coaching services or free resources down below to help you with your own body composition goals. We have our face-to-face and online coaching, whether you need some help and you want us to do all the guesswork for you as well. So guys, hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.